Hello and welcome to City Beat. I'm your host Greg from the Lewiston City Library. Joining me today is our new police chief, Chris Ankeny. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show today.
I appreciate you having me here.
Well, it's great. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience in policing and kind of how you got here?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was born and raised in Southern California, born in a policing family. My father was retired chief of police from El Monte, California. Just after graduation from high school, I went to Upland High School. I got into the cadet program for the Ontario Police Department, and I was a police cadet there for about 3.5 years. After being a cadet there, I applied for several different agencies, and I ended up at the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, Las Vegas, Nevada. I just recently retired from Las Vegas Metro with a little over 22.5 years there. I had opportunity to do a lot of different things when I was there, but my biggest accomplishment was being able to promote to the highest level within the civil service section of the department. So I served as a patrol officer all the way up to the rank of captain. I was a bureau commander. The last position I held was I was in charge of the Crimes Against Youth and Family Bureau for Las Vegas, and we had about approximately 118 individuals working for me under that umbrella. So it was kind of busy.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, I've worked toward obtaining my education centered around law enforcement. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice through the Nevada State College, and I have a master's degree from the University of Louisville in criminal justice. And other than that, I've also been able to attend 3 different executive management courses, and they're 3 of the most prestigious ones in the field. I attended the Northwestern School of Police Staff and Command. I also attended the University of Louisville, the Southern Police Institute, and last year I graduated from the FBI National Academy.
Oh, wow.
So I've got a little bit of experience in the field.
Absolutely. And just out of curiosity, so working in Las Vegas, is it anything like CSI?
No.
I didn't.
No, it's not. We do have CSI, but I think they kind of exaggerate their abilities a little bit on the show.
Absolutely. And so, you did all these great things. How did you end up selecting the city of Lewiston to?
Well, I always wanted to actually run an organization, be the leader of an organization. And after graduating from the FBI National Academy with the training experience that I've been able to obtain and be with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, I began looking at agencies across the United States. And Lewiston Police Department was conducting a national search. And I looked into the organization as well as the city and tried to determine if this is a place to raise my family. And I have 2 young kids, 8 and 13 years old, both boys. And I've been married for quite some time, and I want to take them out of that environment in Las Vegas and raise them and have my family in a very safe and community-friendly environment. And so Lewiston just seemed like the perfect fit.
Yeah, absolutely, especially if you like the outdoors. It's not a bad place to be.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I know you're fairly new to your position here. And so can you identify 3 things that you feel that the Lewiston Police Department is doing well right now?
It's a great agency, and one of the reasons why I selected the police department and selected to continue or begin the process of testing for the position was because of the reputation that the agency has. A model agency, a very professional agency. The officers are extremely engaged, as well as the civilian personnel. They care. And I'm a guy that cares about my agency, and so it seemed to be a perfect fit. Now that I've been there for going on 4 weeks now, it's not just something that they just have that image. They truly do care. They participate in community activities. They care about one another. Their training is impeccable. So it's a very easy transition coming from an organization like the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, who also is a great organization.
Oh, that's great. And can you identify maybe 3 things that they can improve on right now, or that you're looking towards
Well, I think
improving
they're a good organization, and I think that any leader that comes into a new organization has ideas and experience that they can share, as well as learn from past practices from that organization. But I think there's some things that we can take it from a good organization, make it a great organization. One thing that's always true in law enforcement and probably most industries and most professions is change, and change to not do the same things you've always done, because you get the same type of results. And law enforcement's always changing. So specifically, I'm just looking at getting feedback from the individuals that do the job. They know what's working and what's not.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm in the process of doing right now.
Oh, okay. And kind of what is your overall vision for the Lewiston Police Department?
Well, I want the Lewiston Police Department to be the best police department that it can be, to provide a safe and a public service, a very safe environment in the community, but provide a public service, a community-oriented agency that cares about not only what its members think and feel, but also what the community has to say. One of my goals is to be able to open up the door. Transparency is discussed a lot in law enforcement these days, but oftentimes the community doesn't see that the departments are really trying to be as transparent as possible. And so, be able to demonstrate that, not just talk about transparency, but be able to demonstrate it. And one of the plans is being able to open up on a monthly basis for the community to be able to engage not only myself but officers in monthly meetings, either in the community or at the organization, at the police station itself, and address community issues as well as educate community on some of the things that we're doing and why we do them.
Oh, that sounds great. We've kind of gone through our questions pretty quick today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I'm just really happy to be in the city of Lewiston. One of the things that I noticed when I was doing my research was that the city, one of the slogans is, it's a place you love to live. And I could see that just by being here a short time. You mentioned prior to our discussion here that there's so much to do. And there is. I'm a family man, but my family enjoys the outdoors, and I enjoy the outdoors. So boating and fishing and camping, all those different things are important to me and to my family. So that's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to. I'm also looking forward to having a great relationship with the community and actually becoming a part of the community. Living in the Las Vegas Valley, you're really a number. You're not
absolutely.
really a community member because it's so large. There's 2.1 million people that live in that valley. Whereas in this valley of 32,000, you can actually become a member of the community and your voice is actually heard. So in addition to my responsibilities as the police chief and ensuring that the department is on track and doing the right things, is also engaging in a lot of community activities outside of the department, like the Rotary Club, and I'm also looking at participating possibly on the board for the Northwest Children's Home. So I want to be a part of the community. My family wants to be a part of the community, and we're looking excited for our future here.
Oh, absolutely. And as you mentioned, so many great things to do here in the Valley. And as we spoke before, you haven't been here very long. You've only got to do a little bit of traveling. What are some of your favorite spots that you've been able to see so far?
Well, I have to say I love the river. The Snake River and the Clearwater is fantastic. To have my opportunities, take my son, my oldest son, fishing. We're fishing, not catching, but we'll learn. We'll learn. But we've been up to Juliet and experienced the Dorshak Reservoir area, and just all the areas around here. Had an opportunity to drive up to Moscow and visit the farmers market, and that's beautiful and a great opportunity to get some fresh food and so forth. And you don't really have a lot of that in Nevada, especially Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So I like that community feeling that you get, and everybody's been so welcoming here. The agency, the officers, the personnel that are assigned there have been very welcoming, but the community itself has been very welcoming, and it makes it an easier transition coming from a community where you're a number to an actual person within the community.
I would imagine, especially in a city like Las Vegas, where you don't even know who lives there versus who's just visiting.
Absolutely. I mean, majority of the folks that live there are visiting or have visited from another state or city. You talk to most people from Vegas, they're not born and raised in Las Vegas. And then the tourist population, it's considerable. But with Vegas, it's not all about the Strip. There's also outside, away from the Strip, where it is a city, it is a town. But again, there's just so many people there.
Yeah.
It's completely different than the city of Lewiston, which has become our home now.
Which is great, and we love having you here. Welcome,
Thank you.
definitely.
Appreciate it.
And Chris, if there's anything else would you like to add in closing?
I'm looking forward to the opportunity to serve the community as the police chief. I'll have an open door policy, so if folks have concerns or questions, I'd like to be able to answer those questions. Hopefully the forum that we will be establishing in the near future, by having a community forum on a monthly basis, we'll be able to solve that. But if there's any other issues, they can reach out to me in my office, and I'll be happy to sit down with anybody within the community and discuss issues, discuss concerns, and educate as far as policing and how we do our business and why. And I would invite anyone that's interested in coming and actually riding along with the department and going out on a tour with a police officer. It's a very good eye-opening experience to actually see what officers deal with on a daily basis, and it kind of clears up some of those questions and those concerns about why we do what we do and how we do it. So I think it's a great opportunity. I mean, that's how I began my career, with a ride-along. I never wanted to be a police officer, and I got the opportunity to ride with an agency when I was 18 years old, and it changed my life forever, and that's what I decided I wanted to do for the rest of my life, is be a policeman.
And that sounds like an excellent opportunity. How would an average citizen like myself come off the street? How do we approach that? How do we get that opportunity to do a ride-along?
Sure, you contact the police department, you call the front office, obviously not 911 because it's not an emergency, but contacting the Lewiston Police Department, the front office, they'll fill out the form for you, and we'll schedule you a date, and we'll do a brief background check to make sure that you're not wanted, or that you're not considered an individual of ill repute and so forth, and make sure that we're not violating any type of safety for our folks. And then afterwards, we'll set you up with a ride-along. We'll get you in a car and have you sign a waiver, because our job can be dangerous at times, and we don't want to put anybody's life in danger or in jeopardy. But we want you also to see and experience what officers experience and see on a daily basis.
That sounds like a really kind of fun opportunity. It's something I've never taken advantage of, but now I'm very interested. So,
well, just give me a call and we'll set her up.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Well, Chris, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, I really appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity that you've given the Lewiston Police Department to highlight our positives, and also to give me an opportunity to address your viewers and give them the opportunity to reach out to me, and if they have any concerns or questions about the police department or how we operate.
Well, great. Once again, thank you so much for being here today. And on behalf of our guest, Chris Ankeny, new Chief of Police of the Lewiston Police Department, myself and everyone else here, we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time on City Beat.